Welcome to the University of Southern California's 2024 Juneteenth celebration. I'm your host, Dr. Pearson. Juneteenth marks the end of colonial slavery in the United States and symbolizes freedom and equality. However, for those who celebrated Juneteenth prior to it becoming a national holiday, you all know that it means so much more than just getting the day off from work. In fact, I had to take the day off about 20 years ago. My very first Juneteenth was at USC E.F. Hutton Park. There was a DJ, barbecue, tables for spades, dominoes, small but powerful group. And here's one more in fact. We were the cookout and still are to this day. And you've been invited. So pull up a chair, grab a plate, something to drink, and feel free to live out loud. That's our theme for this year's Juneteenth celebration. The freedom to express oneself, celebrate one's heritage, and advocate for one's rights openly and proudly. I encourage all of you to reflect on what it means to be free to live out loud. We have an illustrious lineup of speakers and special guests. So without any further ado, here they go.
Happy Juneteenth, Trojans. Let's use this important day to celebrate the future while we also memorialize and honor the women and men on whose shoulders we now stand. I think we all know 159 years ago today, the last remaining enslaved people in Galveston, Texas, were told they had been freed. But that was more than 2 months after the Confederacy surrendered and more than 2 years after President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. And it's taken another century and a half for us to recognize this important day as a federal holiday. As Dr. King said, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Recognizing Juneteenth as one Trojan family reminds us that we are all connected. Now I'm thinking of 2 inspiring leaders we have right here at USC. Jason King, Thornton School of Music's first Black dean, and Frenita Tolson, the Gould School of Law's first Black dean. Dean King's early musical roots are in classical piano and musical theater, and he's taught courses on everything from popular music history to the social aspects of music technology. Dean Tolson is a top election law scholar who has testified before Congress. Her research stretches back to the 1800s and Reconstruction. That period was followed by a loss of rights and violence towards African Americans. And the lesson it provides give Dean Tolson a framework for looking at present-day voting restrictions. I'm also thinking of professors like Annenberg's Alyssa Richardson. In 2022, Professor Richardson founded the Charlotta Bass Journalism and Justice Lab. It's the first AI-powered Black media archive and experimental storytelling space on the West Coast. I'd also like to highlight the fabulous CBCSA. The passionate leaders who work there and support our community are there for us all year long. We just doubled CBCSA's space in the Student Union, and it is teeming with students who are showing up and using that space in such creative ways. Some of you may know this, but the masks that decorate the walls in the CBCSA are replicas from the blockbuster movie Black Panther. And that was directed by Cinematic Arts alum Ryan Coogler. I love this quote from him. He said, "The best stories are the ones that teach us something about ourselves and the world around us." Well, let's listen to the stories being shared today on Juneteenth. Let's take them in, let's carry them with us, and let's fight on.
Greetings, Trojan family. While our theme this year is centered in the freedom to live out loud, if you were to see me during this celebration and I appeared to be in quiet reflection, it's because I am. My name is Norris White Gunby Jr., and I am the 6th generation grandson of Simon and Emma Fox, This beautiful Cherokee woman you see here and her husband, they were enslaved on the Leverett Plantation in Lincoln County, Georgia. On September 22nd, 1862, President Lincoln issued a proclamation that included the words, "All persons held as slaves shall be then, thenceforward, and forever free." However, our country, and for us, this appeared to not be enough. It took Sherman's march, it took congressional action, it took amendments to the U.S. Constitution. And in that 15th Amendment, it states that the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. And so today, I celebrate and remember my great, 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 great grandfather. And I ask that you remember my family's history, as only 6 short generations ago, my entire family was enslaved. I celebrate, and you can see here, because my grandpa Simon registered to vote in July of 1867. And here's his voter registration card. The freedom and rights that we all enjoy are covered in the sacrifice of many. My family endured displacement, sexual exploitation, lack of education, shown here by my grandpa Simon having to mark X on his voter registration card. We were tortured, bred, lost property. We were claimed on tax records as chattel. We were census apportioned as 3/5. Yet our family thrived during Reconstruction, only to be stagnated some 20 years later, stolen from and held back for another 100 years of Jim Crow. This is the week of my birth. And even though Brown versus Board declared that separate was not equal and that the remedy should proceed with all deliberate speed, my father was fired from his job teaching at the segregated school because he led the NAACP voter registration drive. A particular high-level U.S. government official called the all-white school board in Georgia and demanded that he be reinstated. That dynamic and powerful man was the leading candidate for the presidency of the United States. He was the brother of a former president, and he was assassinated at a hotel that stood just 3 miles from our campus in what is now Koreatown. So while I may appear to just be another colleague among the 23,000 faculty and staff and 40,000+ students at our internationally venerated institution, my existence in this space is the fulfillment of the prayers, dreams, and endurance of my ancestors. So this is why I celebrate Juneteenth. So if you see me during the celebration and I appear to be in deep reflection, it's probably because I am.
Hi, everybody. It's Councilwoman Heather Hutt here, and I just want to wish everybody a happy Juneteenth. This is a time where we celebrate resilience, where we celebrate our freedoms, and we celebrate them out loud. I'm so happy to be in California, where there are great opportunities for folks to build their own business, get a greater education, where they won't be stifled by taking books away or changing history. We need to know the history of Juneteenth. We need to understand exactly what happened in Galveston, and that's what this is about. This is a time to spread jubilation, because that's what the slaves said once they were free, Jubilee. And we need to celebrate all of this. Happy Juneteenth, everyone.
Happy Juneteenth, Trojans. My name is Effie Turnbull Sanders, and I have the privilege of serving as the Vice President for Civic Engagement and Economic Partnerships at University Relations. Today is a reminder. It's a reminder of the struggles and the triumphs that have shaped our nation's collective journey. From stolen Native American lands, colonialism, genocide, and the millions of Africans violently ripped from their families and forced into slavery, Juneteenth serves as a poignant reminder of the resilience of those who fought for freedom and justice against seemingly insurmountable odds. Together, we have the opportunity to celebrate and commit to more fully living into the promise of that freedom. We Trojans honor that day because of the courage and determination of Black Americans who made America better and more inclusive for all of us, those who paved a way for Black Americans like me and many, many other Trojans to pursue greater opportunities, including higher education. Juneteenth also challenges us. It challenges us to confront some of the uncomfortable truths of our nation's history. It compels us to reckon with those legacies of slavery, systematic oppression that continue to shape our society. And by acknowledging this painful past and taking action to address inequalities that persist as legacies of slavery, Jim Crow, and systematic oppression and racism, we all can strive towards a more inclusive and equitable and brighter future for all. We can all do it in 3 ways, and there are many other ways to do it, but I'm going to talk about 3. 1, dismantle the structures of inequality that persist in our communities and institutions. 2, we can all champion policies that promote justice and uplift marginalized voices. 3, we can educate ourselves and others about complexities of racial identity and foster empathy and understanding all across racial divides. Whether you're a student, whether you're a staff member, whether you're a faculty member, we all possess the ability to affect meaningful change in our communities. Some of the ways that we're doing that here at USC include supporting our local community-based organizations and our small businesses through programs like our Good Neighbors program, our Trojan Shop Local and Bridges to Business program. All of these have volunteer opportunities, by the way. Let us take this day as a call to action and redouble our efforts to create a world where freedom and justice reign supreme. We can do it together. Fight on, Trojans, fight on.
My name is Dr. Nicole D. Vick, a graduate of Sol Price way back before it was even Sol Price, okay? When I hear the phrase free to live out loud, I think immediately of authenticity. Now, let's be real, it can be really hard to be our true authentic selves, especially when being ourselves subjects us to so much critique and criticism. It can be really difficult. Everything about us is political, from the way that we talk to the way that we dress and the way that we wear our hair. It can be exhausting and confusing. You have to remember, though, when you live out loud, you will never, ever betray yourself. You will never, ever sell yourself short. You will always be proud of what you do. It's so important to live out loud and to be free. I think another important aspect of this idea of living out loud, especially for you in Sol Price, is the idea of, wait a minute, I need to be authentic to myself, but I also need to create a world where others can also live in their authenticity and they can also be free. So be free and authentic for your own peace of mind, but also remember that as you're doing that, you're an example to others. And again, as members of Sol Price, you are public servants, future public servants. Remember, your job is also to create a world where others can be free and authentic as well. Besides, in my experience, when I downplay who I am and try to assimilate, it really never works out for me. It just be yourself. Just be you and be authentic and make the world so that others can be that as well and stand in their truth.
Greetings to each and everyone celebrating on this day we call Juneteenth. My name is Cynthia Brass, president of USC's Black Staff and Faculty Caucus. Each year we pay tribute to this day of freedom for African Americans. It has been 161 years since this day came into existence, as we yet are still facing issues from our past. Each day, my journey is to share and teach people who think that nothing is wrong, that everything is right in this day and time. Each day, we're learning something new about the African American people, our society, the things that we've done, the things that we've contributed to this country, to this world, to this nation. Juneteenth is a day that we celebrate what our ancestors had to endure. Although they had many days of pain, they always found a way to be joyous with song, with dance, and all-time favorite food. As we head into July, our Independence Day, known as July 4th, we mark Juneteenth as our country's second Independence Day. The historical legacy of Juneteenth shows the value of never giving up hope in uncertain times. We are thankful that this day has been recognized as a federal holiday since 2021, when President Joe Biden signed the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act into law. We hold this day high as it is the first new federal holiday since Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which was adopted in 1983. I say to each and every one of you, please take time out during this month, even in July, and take part of celebrations held within the city, within your community, across the country. Each and every day, we can all learn something new. And for those who are still trying to figure out who we are as a people, what we have done to this country, what we have contributed, please take time to get to know your neighbor, your friend, your coworker. There's always something to learn outside of the school, outside of the classroom, outside of your work. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who is in attendance, whether you are here on campus, you're looking at us via Zoom. Please, thank you for taking the time out to come and share with us, and go out and celebrate and have a joyous time in whatever you do to celebrate Juneteenth. Peace and blessings to all of you, and happy Juneteenth. Thank you for coming.
Hello everyone, my name is Summer Sky Mosley, and I am a recent graduate from the University of Southern California. Fight on. I am also a former member of the women's track and field team, and I am the current school record holder in the weight throw. It is an honor to be here with you today to celebrate Juneteenth, a day that commemorates the emancipation of our ancestors and the enduring spirit of freedom and resilience that they passed down to us. Today's theme, Free to Live Out Loud, calls us to reflect on our journey to embrace the freedom that our ancestors fought so hard to achieve. It is a reminder that we are not only free from the chains of physical bondage, but also free to express our identities, our culture, and our voices in a world that often seeks to silence us. In the midst of a world where systems are often set against us, we are called to be the light of the world. As Matthew 5:14 reminds us, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house." Our light is our strength. Our light is our resilience. And it is our unwavering commitment to justice and equality. Despite the challenges we face, we are here to live out loud. We are here to celebrate our heritage, our achievements, and our future. We are here to stand tall in the face of adversity and to shine brightly, illuminating the path for those who come after us. As we remember today, let us remember the words of the Black National Anthem. Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven rings with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise, high as the listening skies. Let it resound, loud as the rolling sea. This inspires us to lift our voices, to sing our songs of freedom, and to let our rejoicing rise. They remind us that our voices matter and that our collective strength is a force for change. Today, we honor our past, we celebrate our present, and we look forward to a future where we are truly able to live out loud. Let us continue to be the light in our communities, shining brightly and fearlessly. Let us embrace our freedom, knowing that our voices, our lives, and our stories are powerful and vital. Thank you and happy Juneteenth. Fight on.
Greetings, I'm Dr. Tracy Kirkland. I am an associate teaching professor in the Department of Nursing at the Suzanne Dwork Peck School of Social Work. I am also an adult and pediatric nurse practitioner practicing outside of Houston, Texas, just miles away from Galveston, Texas. Thank you for having me. Juneteenth, celebrated on June 19th, commemorates the day in 1865 when enslaved African Americans in Galveston, Texas, were finally informed of their freedom 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was issued. This day symbolizes the end of slavery in the United States and is a profound moment or celebration for African American culture, resilience, and contributions. To live it out loud in the context of Juneteenth means to embrace and to celebrate one's identity and heritage with pride and without reservation. It is a time in which individuals are honored and celebrate their history, their culture, and advocate for justice and equality, cultivating a community where everyone can thrive openly and authentically. This is a time whereby individuals can amplify their voices. They can reflect, they can encourage the mitigation of determinants of health with aims to improve healthy outcomes. It is our time. It is our time collectively to share one voice in advocating for freedom. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone, and happy Juneteenth. I'm Stacy Kruns, Contracts and Grants Manager for the Sol Price School of Public Policy and current president of the USC Staff Assembly, and it's an honor to celebrate this significant day with you all. Juneteenth is a day of profound importance, marking the end of slavery in the United States. It is a time to reflect on the struggles and triumphs of our ancestors and to honor their resilience and courage. It's also a time to celebrate our freedom and the incredible potential that comes with it. This year's theme, Free to Live Out Loud, resonates deeply with me. As a Black woman, I have experienced the power of education and community in shaping my journey. I currently hold an MBA, and I'm thrilled to share that I've been accepted into the Rossier School of Education EDD program, where starting this fall, I will begin to earn my Doctor of Education in Educational Leadership. This new chapter is not just a personal achievement, but a testament to the endless possibilities that come with embracing our freedom and living authentically. Juneteenth is not just a celebration of freedom. It is a reminder of the work that remains to be done. We must continue to fight for social justice, equality, and opportunities for all. This day urges us to reflect on our past, recognize the progress made, and commit to the ongoing fight against systemic racism and injustice. In my journey, I have been deeply inspired by the stories of those who came before me. Their sacrifices and determination paved the way for opportunities we have today. I'm also inspired by the stories of resilience and success within our own community. Each one of us has a unique story that contributes to the rich tapestry of our shared history. Juneteenth reminds us of the importance of community and the strength that we derive from coming together. It's about celebrating our culture, our heritage, and our ability to live out loud, to be unapologetically ourselves. In our daily lives, we must strive to support one another, lift each other up, and create spaces where everyone feels valued and heard. I encourage each of you to take this day to reflect on your own journey, to celebrate your achievements, and to embrace the freedom to live boldly and authentically. Let's use this day to educate ourselves and others about the significance of Juneteenth and the ongoing struggle for equality. Together, let's continue to build a community where everyone can thrive and be their true selves. Thank you for being a part of this celebration. Happy Juneteenth, and here's to living out loud. Thank you, and fight on.
Good afternoon, fellow Trojans. I'm Fernita Tolson, Dean of the USC Gould School of Law. Thank you all for joining us for today's program. Juneteenth is a unique holiday and one that stirs a host of mixed emotions inside of me. On one hand, it's a story of incredible perseverance in the face of incomprehensible struggle. It recognizes the day, June 19, 1865, that the Emancipation Proclamation was finally enforced in Texas, freeing Black people enslaved in the state who had yet to hear news of the freedom granted to them 2 years earlier. The holiday is meant to be a commemoration of freedom, of liberty, and of hope. But on the other hand, the holiday is also an opportunity to educate others on the unfortunate legacy of slavery that we, as a country, still struggle with today, and to recognize that real, actual people who should have never been enslaved in the first place were held in bondage much longer than they had to be. Juneteenth reminds us that no one is free until we are all free, and that the fight for justice and equality still continues. Juneteenth, like so much of American history, is multi-layered and multifaceted. It is comprised of elements that are both uplifting yet painful, transformative yet tragic. On occasions like these, it's important to open our eyes and hearts and see the full view of this complicated past. The past offers us valuable lessons about how far we've come, but also the long, difficult road that lies ahead in order to become a better, more equitable place. I'm reminded of one of my favorite quotes from Dr. King, who said, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." His words remain remarkably true to this day. From my perspective, the arc bends towards justice because of the hard work each day of those who are committed to justice and equality, especially for the most vulnerable in our society. I'm grateful to be part of a law school and a university where so many colleagues share that commitment. Likewise, our students go on to be more than leaders. They become agents of change and advocates for justice. It speaks to the character of our community, and it's exactly the reason why I know that being an educator is my calling. Before I go, I want to express how meaningful it is to be a part of today's Juneteenth program. It gives our entire USC community the opportunity to come together in the spirit of respect, unity, and understanding. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us at the University of Southern California's annual Juneteenth celebration. Hopefully our speakers and special guests inspire you to continue your advocacy towards racial justice and equality beyond Juneteenth. I would like to thank all who participated in this year's Juneteenth celebration. Thank you for making it a success and a special one. Also, I'd like to thank everyone on the Juneteenth Planning Committee that's comprised of students and dedicated administrators and distinguished faculty. Thank you. It's been an honor to serve as your host. So from Dr. Pearson's family and the entire Trojan family, happy Juneteenth and fight on.